Hey, what's happening, everybody? So Maurice back again with another review. I know it's been a minute. Please forgive your boy. Just been a lot going on, but I'm back here to talk about some board games. Today I wanted to talk about a game that I found very intriguing, and that is Suspects. And this is made by Studio H, and well, they have the designer as Guillaume Montiage. I apologize if I butchered your name, my brother. But this was a super cool game, man. I know when we look at some of the more popular detective games, we have Chronicles of Crime up there, the detective series, the Sherlock Holmes consulting agency. And if I be completely honest, I think this game deserves to be in that conversation. I had a ton of fun with this one. This game really forces you to make some interesting leaps. The design of it is simple and straightforward. Man, let me show y'all something real quick because I think that this is all designers if you can. I know everybody can make a what would you call it? I guess one of these rule books as thin as this, but this is crazy, y'all. Check this out. So this is the front, right? You open it up, so it's page one, two, three, four. That's it. That's all you gotta read, man. It's about a 10-minute read. It ain't nothing too crazy. Like the system is pretty straightforward. If you've played the detective game, then you'll pick it up even quicker. But it is a very cool detective game. You start off with so they normally have there's three cases that come with the game, and I think the game is about $30. So you have kind of the intro sheet into each of the cases, and you have a bit, excuse me, as I maneuver through my whole setup. You had a name of the case, and it goes through and have some dialogue because you play as Claire Harper, and she's kind of a private investigator that goes around solving cases. Similarly to what you see with Sherlock Holmes. And so each of the different cases are introduced, and then you have your scoring criteria around here, and this is one of the cool parts of the game, but also the double-edged sword. This is a part that I have some hot takes on, but I'll get into that later. But yeah, the flow of the game, you go ahead and read and see what's going on, and then you're given a deck of cards. So as you can see, there's a number one that's up there. Depending on what it said here, you may have to start off with the particular card and then work your way from there. But it, yeah. So as you can see, this message that's right here. It talks about you take the map and then you draw card one, and this is the butler. So right when you start off the game, I'm okay with sharing like the information on this card, but I won't share too much. Uh, After that, for the sake of the integrity of the game. But I think it also helps you understand like the flow of the game. But here you have this was the card one that they mentioned. So you got Thomas Smith, who is the butler, and then he has some information to share with you. So you can see here, you can share where's my finger at? Right here. So document B, which I'll reveal in just a second. And then under here you see you have some options. So you got card 36 that you can go read, and then card 40 that you can go and read. And you continue going through trying to figure out what happened and try to answer the questions. So, as mentioned earlier, so here we got the what is it, the four questions, maybe five. If you please, camera, please work for me. So they got the five questions that's there for you to answer. So who is the killer? What is the motive? What events led to the murder? The murderer used three objects, name them, and in what order did the events leading up to the murder take place? So they ask you these different questions, and then you can see from the scoring criteria up here, you got cards. See if I can get that to focus in a little more. So you got cards 1 through 30, 31 through 40. Man, that zoom is not having. There we go. So you got cards 1 through 30, 31 through 45, 46 and more, and then wrong answer. So what it's trying to tell you is if you can guess these questions within 30 cards, then you get 5 points per question you got right. And then for 31 through 45, you get 4 points per question answer there, and then rinse and repeat as you go down the way. What the one thing I don't like about the scoring system is I think it kind of takes away from trying to figure out the murder. And this is you can see here the last card is 53. So roughly about 60% of the cards, which seems like a lot, right? Like that is the majority of the cards, but you have roughly seven different people that you're trying to talk to, the different areas that they were talking about, where you can go through and look at like um the map of the place. So this is one of the documents that come with the game, so you can see the components are super cool. So it's a family tree. And as you can see with the family tree, there are some people that's present, so you can go and talk to them, right? So there's so many different people that you have to go and talk to, and then you got the map here where you've got the different areas that you can go and visit. So you got the four here, the 13, and so if you choose to go to those, you go there, see what information is available. If there's anybody to talk to that's there, then you go through and do that. But what the game tries to do is have you do a scoring system to where if you get those questions right, there's a certain score, and that score corresponds to the solution. I won't show the solution because as soon as I show a piece of it, then that could ruin a third of the game right there, right? But each of the different cases come with the solutions little envelope, and inside of it is like a little um uh like a Xerox a laminated like foldable document, and it goes through and tell you who's the killer, why they did what they did, how they were able to accomplish it, who all they talked to, things like that. So as it goes through and explain the different solutions, it'll have the numbers to the cards to correspond to the reasoning of why things happen, which I think is pretty cool. But um let's say that you think you know the answer within those 30 cards and you go and read the solution. Well, it makes it kind of spoils it, right? To where now that you have the answers to it and going back and playing the game, at that point you might as well just read what's there. So it takes away from the opportunity to play the game again, right? So I think and you've learned everything with only discovering roughly 60% of the opportunities that's there. So my advice, if you decide to get into this game, I would just say go through and figure out what you can in the least amount of cards, or just go through and experience um all of the different things that the game have to offer, because even if you know everything that this game gives you, sometimes you still gotta you still have to kind of take a leap. And I think that that's the genius behind the design of this game, is that they give you everything and it still sometimes feel like you got to take a stretch. And it's not that it's a bad design as much as the red herrings that are written in this game are phenomenal. Like you in each case, I think you are looking at about 5 to 7 suspects, right? So you're trying to talk to them to see how they interact with other people, what they think of other people, where were they at certain times, some of the items that they have on them, whatever that looks like. You have not only these people to talk to, but you have the different locations, right? I mean, if we go back to this map, right? Like these, that's what, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. That's 8 cards right there. Nine, 10. There's a lot of uh nine. Your boy can't count, but there's about 9 cards that right there. If you just want to explore to see what's happening, and those may open up other opportunities, right? So trying to guess it within 30 cards, I would recommend just play the game to see if you can guess the person correctly. Because the only reason why it matters in terms of the scoring is once you're done with the game and you're reading through the solutions, at the end of the solutions, it'll say, if you got 0 to 5 points, then that person got free. Or if it's 6 to 18, you had enough evidence, but they only got the low end of the sentence. Or if you got 25 points or higher or whatever, then they get the max amount of they get the max time, and So I don't think it even matters at that point. So there's multiple endings, but I think if you get it right, like that's what you're trying to accomplish, right? It's not the same as detective, where detective doesn't allow you, because of the system it has, doesn't allow you to explore every single card. So you're forced to make some of those leaps, but they had opportunities for you to check if something is right. And this game does a similar thing where they have some cards where you will see some marks on the side of each of the different. I wonder if it's on his. Yeah, so right here on the side, there's a little green marker and a little purple marker. So on the side, you will start finding potential murder weapons, and then you line it up on side of you line it up right on the side, and if it matches, then either he may have touched it at some point, or maybe you saw some footprints in the snow, so maybe it matches up to show you that his footprint was the same size as that one, right? So this one has a cool little forensics side game side game to it, with these markers. So you had that opportunity to kind of match up, and uh if the theory that you came up with supports the evidence that's there, then maybe you're on the right track. But I don't think that the point system is wholeheartedly useless. I do think that if you're playing this competitively with someone else, so everybody is getting the same amount of information, but because of the red herrings that this game provide, maybe you are leaning towards this person, and somebody else like, no, I think it's this person because of this and this. Though you can compare points at the end of the game to see who makes the most points, right? But all in all, I think that the three cases were amazing. I really liked uh the red herrings that they throw at you. I really like the detail and the quality of the components that's here. I mean, they put a lot of effort into what they have, and the art style is gorgeous in this game. It's super cool, and I mean, it's similar to the art style that you saw with Chronicles of Crime, but it works out well. I think that this game is super fun. I think the system is extremely promising, and Guillaume, if you watch this, or Studio H, if y'all watch this, like, I hope that y'all continue to invest in this system, because I think y'all have something amazing here that can continue to be built on, and hopefully suspects will be in that same echelon as Chronicles of Crime and Detective and the Sherlock Holmes consulting agency, because I think this game was fun. And like I said, it's about 90 minutes. I did this all myself, and I think that it took me about an hour and a half to figure out these cases, and sometimes two. I think the last one, because there was so much going on in that last one, so you really had to make some interesting leaps to figure it out. But yeah, so the 90 minutes is right around there, which means that you're probably going to be playing this game for about 4.5 hours to get the full experience, assuming you don't do replays. So I think that's fair, considering other games uh, within the realm of what this provides, especially like those uh, hunter killer games, or those exit games, those escape room games. This one gives you three of them in one box, essentially. And I think the game is about $30, so it's right around that same price. So yeah, I really love this game, and just to kind of show off the box again, so that you have an idea of what it looks like. But yeah, if you have any questions about Suspects, I'd be more than happy to answer what I can, if I didn't cover it. But I think that this game is so much fun. I think the writing in this game is amazing. The different personalities that you go through and talk to, with the different people that you are suspecting of committing whatever crime that you're investigating. The people are so much fun to read, and they all feel like they're own people, and sometimes people that in real life act like some of these people, which is crazy. And they do have a super cool, let me see if I can find one. They do have a super cool card where, like, if you're struggling with trying to figure things out, they have this icon system. So here, so in the first case, you actually had the opportunity to speak to the doctor, right? So if you get three of these, then you can reveal his card and flip it over, and he gives you some more information. So if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, there are other cards that have these particular symbols on them. So you may talk to somebody, and when you flip over their card, they'll have one of them. So you have to collect three of them to be able to talk to the family doctor. But it's a nice little way for you to be able to, if you feel like you're stuck and you need more cards, they have some of these characters that kind of bring in some insight that could help you get to that answer. But yeah, I like this game a lot, man. So I hope they continue to expand on suspects. I believe in this system. I'm still not that big of a fan of the scoring system, but I mean, to each his own. Enjoy the game how you see fit. I think that it's more important to solve the murder than to try to solve it in the least amount of cards. And I think that you miss out on so much of the game doing it that way to where you don't get some of those funny interactions sometimes, or you don't get those um, cool clues on how they reveal things in this game. So that's my 2 cents on it. But yeah, if you have any questions about it, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. I do think that this game is super cool. If you've played the game, let me know how your experience was. I tripping on something that I found amazing, and maybe y'all thought it was trash or whatever the case may be, or maybe um maybe you liked something about the game that I just wasn't a fan of. I don't We all get have our experiences, right? But yeah, let me know what you think about it. I appreciate you for taking the time to stop by and hope you have a wonderful day.